I want to try to de-Balkanize America, right? I think.
Sure.
I think these kind of the creation.
Unless it's the Boy Scouts.
Well, but that's gender. Gender differences are completely important for formative reasons, sociological reasons.
Do you think that it's wrong to have international houses at these universities?
I don't love it. I'll be very honest. I don't.
Okay, well then that's consistent, and that's fine.
I think that if you come to America, I want you to try to participate in our attempt to be a multiracial republic, right? In the attempt. Like, I don't love the idea of hyphen America. I don't like this idea of Chinese American, Iranian American, African American. I want to try, albeit clumsy, to strive towards the idea that I'm an American. Like, I don't.
So I hear that, Charlie. And if I could just say this, I think this is such a crucial point. Part of, I think, why some Black people and other non-white people bristle a little bit at this idea that, you know, people like yourselves really want individuality and the ability to be your own person and not to be subsumed in stereotypes or groups or tribalism, is that the whole story, the whole narrative of advocating for yourself on the basis of your identity historically has been because by law, you weren't allowed to be an individual. By the Constitution, you were 3/5 of a person. By Jim Crow laws, you couldn't ride the same trains as whites or drink at the same water fountains. By redlining, you weren't allowed by law to live in the same neighborhoods as whites, or you at least weren't going to be granted a loan to be able to live in the same neighborhoods as whites. And many of those white neighborhoods had restrictive covenants in the lease that explicitly precluded Black people from living in those neighborhoods. And people wanted to be individuals. People wanted to be able to live where they wanted to live, go to school where they wanted to live, go to the hospital they wanted to go to, marry who they wanted to marry. And the literal laws of the United States of America said, no, you cannot do that. And so people started to advocate, okay, I'm Black and I don't have access to this privilege. I'm Asian and I don't have access to this. I'm Latino, I'm Chicano. And we had all of these movements to get people to be able to be individuals. So people bristle a little, I think, at this idea that the existence of advocacy along identity lines is to be balkanized. It's quite the opposite.
9 out of 13 states had abolished slavery by the Constitution. Northwest Ordinance had all new territories were free.
And what do you take from that? That America wasn't racist?
Not only that, we were the first country to abolish slavery, not just continue the practice of it. I mean, every other nation had slavery, including today. There's more slaves today than there were back then. Unfortunately, slavery is the norm, abolition is the exception, and America led the way.
Charlie, you have to understand, you're not an unintelligent person. You know that that's a logical fallacy.
Why?
If you and I both have kids, and we both start beating our kids at the same time, and we're ruthless, abusive parents, and you stop a year before I stop, that doesn't make us not ruthless, abusive parents.
So where in the Federalist Papers does it justify slavery?
Why does it matter
Well,
whether or not? No,
that's
Charlie,
the framework of our country.
No,